Judy is in the Texas team. She came on board under Kim Cloud Skidmore. Many of you have probably heard her on a few of our calls this last week. Talk about a lady with a heart for her people. And then you've got Brian Gasperson and of course myself. We've all teamed up. You talk about powerhouse when you can get like-minded people together. And so when we saw Judy coming up in the ranks, we knew we saw something special in her. Why? Because she's so dedicated and committed to her team, to her goals, to actually giving value to people's lives. And so she is one of those leaders that I can tell you right now, she's not stopping here. She's going to keep going and she's going to keep reaching for success because that's who she is. It's in her DNA. But she also has a heart of gold, and you'll see that it's very present when she speaks. She genuinely cares about people. She's so authentic, and she's just going to take you to a whole new place. So my encouragement to you is get your notepads out. Like I said, find a quiet spot in the house. Get somewhere where you can really absorb what she's going to tell you, and not just listen, but take it and apply it to your business. She got to national ambassador in a very short time. How long, Judy, before you hit national?
7 months.
7 months. If she can do that, so can you. All right. And so decision just starts with, what do you want out of it? And then be very coachable. Listen to what the people that have already started reaching success, what are they doing and how did they get where they're at? And so Judy, without any further ado, I'm going to let you come to the line and share your wisdom and your passion and your excitement. And I absolutely will be taking notes myself. So Judy, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Danielle. First of all, thank you for those lovely, generous comments. You kind of got me teared up there. But for you to ask me to do this training is just such an honor. You know, yours was the very first training I had ever seen, just a week after signing up. And I could feel your exuberance and your confidence. And you're really the one who helped me and a friend that I brought along who is now area. You got us on the right track right from the beginning. And I want to thank Lori too for helping today with some of the technology. You know, these trainings are kind of forcing me into growing with technology, because I'm one of these people that I say, hey, with my technology lack of skills, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But I know that sometimes just hearing some of the same words and advice that you may have heard before, but if you hear it from a different person, maybe in a different way, it just resonates with you maybe a bit differently. And I hope tonight that it does steer you in the right direction. So yes, the training is a road trip. Who doesn't love a road trip? You may feel that, well, it's not really appropriate or to fit in right now when we can't leave our homes. But I feel like that's all the more reason for you just to close your eyes for a minute and think about the first road trip you want to plan with your family and friends when this is all over with. And while you're dreaming about that one, you can actually be going on one with your Zilis business, because I'm here to tell you that you can plan and succeed in making it to your dream destination, whatever that may be, with Zilis. First, you have to decide, you have to have a dream or a desire and interest in a destination, right? You have no reason to even start planning a trip if you don't know where it is you want to go. So you've seen the vision of where this company can take us. And I know most of you on the call had or have dreams of making money with Zilis. But many of our ambassadors who sign up, they just want it for the health products. And that's fine. It's because they don't have the vision for what the business can do for them. Perhaps they've never been shown or been interested. And if they have been shown, they just don't believe it can happen. Well, I don't get that, because it's in black and white. How can you not believe it when you know this industry was a $50 million industry in 2017 and a $600 million industry the next year, and now a $4 billion industry? You know, there's just such a big difference in believing in an industry and believing in yourself. So that belief in yourself is one of the things that I hope to help you increase tonight. So when you're starting on your road trip, you've got this vision in your mind and you decide which vehicle is going to be the most reliable car to take. Well, it's the same with Zilis, right? You've looked around, you've seen other CBD companies, maybe even other network marketing companies, and you know without a doubt that after doing your research, there's something different about this company. You know it's just levels above anything else you've looked at. And if you're going to spend your time and your money to do this, you want it to be the right vehicle. So we must believe with everything we have in us that this is the right and the only way we're going to be able to make our journey to a success. So make no question about it. I feel so strongly that you have to believe first before you can expect anyone else that you talk to believe. So you've got the vision. You believe that Zilis is going to bring you financial freedom, because that's why we're all here, isn't it? You know, financial freedom can look different to each one of us. So we need our personal goals. The multi-level marketing book called Get Over Your Damn Self says use SMART goals. They must be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic. I think those are kind of the same. And they have to have a time frame. What do you want to accomplish? When do you want to accomplish it? And why? Remember that the more your why can make you cry, then the more likely you are going to pick up that cell phone that feels like it weighs a ton. We all have short-term and long-term goals. And we all have lots of financial reasons for wanting to do this. But often it goes beyond just making money. Maybe it has something to do a little more elusive, like respect or leadership or accomplishing, building a lasting legacy for your family, or just paying it forward. Whatever your goals are, write them down, because you know what Robbie Page says, that it's only a wish if you don't write it down. The only way to get from here to there is to write it down and then visualize it every single day. I posted sticky notes, you know, all over the house that said, "Just Do It National," after Spring Fest a year ago, because it was all on my mind that I wanted to make this goal before Fall Fest in September. Well, was it the sticky notes that helped me achieve that goal? Of course not. But it was seeing those goals all the time that helped me step out of my comfort zone to make it happen. So you have to know your team's goals too and help them achieve them. You know, I know everyone that's working hard on this business. I know their goals and their whys. And it's not just their goals. It become my goals to help them rank so they can cut back in the salon, so they can take fewer hours in the ER and say no to some of the coaching and stay at home with their child. I know how hard this is on all of them and their bodies, and that's why I'm just so passionate about their goals right along with mine. I have an octogenarian on my team, Idel, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to help her and show everyone that there's just no age limit when it comes to being paid to help people feel better. So when I started out a year ago last January, that was my main goal, is to just get these products in people's body, help them feel better because of the dramatic health improvement I got with all the products. I had had several chronic health conditions, rheumatoid arthritis, autoimmune hepatitis, fibromyalgia, and these were the ones that made me have to quit the profession that I was just passionate about for 25 years. That was teaching. And then I had to wear these compression gloves, support gloves, due to a neck and hand issue. And I wore these ugly gloves for over 20 years, 24/7. And then the past 6 years, the RA settled in my larynx. So it often hurts to talk too much, but it doesn't stop me from doing this. I say, you know, most people it might stop from doing. I just have to learn when to prioritize and rest my voice, but I'm hoping it'll get me through tonight. But anyway, when I couldn't help but start sharing, you know, when so many of those things were improving. And when I started realizing that there was serious money my why changed and got me very serious about this business. Now, I would never share my why with the group because it is way too personal and it's too emotional, and I know I would cry. But so make your why and your goals significant, and then buckle your seatbelt and step on the gas. So now you know where you want to go. You know what vehicle is going to get you there, and you've got your goals written down, right? How do you physically start? Well, you need a map. Now, my husband Jim and I are old school, and we like to look at a big old atlas and chart our trips. Your map in Zilis is your upline, your leaders, the calls, the webinars, the trainings, the 90-day game plan. Everything involves being connected with your goals, listening and learning from others who have made this journey before you and have had the kind of success that you want to duplicate. These people are your tour guides. They're your GPS. I mean, how many of you would head out across town without your GPS? If you're like me, I wouldn't even go across town, let alone on a journey on a trip of a lifetime. You know, I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but I can't believe the number of people who don't make time for the Freedom Call or the national and the team trainings. Listening to Stephen Thompson, our top mentor and leader of them all, the man who writes our checks and knows what it takes, is pretty important to listen to, don't you think? It's called the Freedom Call for a reason. And whoever thinks, I know how to sell, I don't need all the extra, that's the person who could get stuck and may not make it out of that ditch. So my upline, Kim, Bryant, Danielle, the win sheet, the weekly activity sheets, the Zoom, the Diamond Makers, Global Impact, and Zilis University, those are what I stayed glued to. They're my map, and I know how easy it is for me to get lost. So now you've planned your road trip, you know your route, you've got your goals written down, but you feel a bit isolated. I mean, would you ever think about taking a road trip, taking a trip of your dreams without involving your family? Of course not. And whether they like it or not, they are part of this journey, and they're going to come along with you in some way or another on this road trip. So involve your family from the beginning. Help everyone get excited, and they're going to be so much more supportive of you. You know, start a dream board together of what kind of the things and maybe the short-term rewards and gifts that your family would like to see happening. Make an activity checklist like you used to do for your kids, or maybe you still do them when they were in school. And now that they're homeschooled, that's a perfect thing to do. That behavior and activity checklist where as they achieve and accomplish your weekly goal, you know, they're going to watch you check it off. And it's just going to help them spur your excitement as they kind of help you push you to the finish line, because it's your family that's going to do that. They're going to care the most. This is the perfect week and weekend to make a dream board. I really challenge all of us to kind of do that again. So everyone's excited. The anticipation's been building. You're set to leave soon. You need to pack your suitcases and get your car fueled up, right? You would never leave, at least on purpose, without your clothes, your snacks, and your gas, right? Well, your fuel in Zilis is your positive mindset, A, your products and knowledge, B, and C, some money. Those are the three things that are going to keep you going throughout your journey. Let's talk about the mindsets, the positive mindsets daily. You need the affirmations. Feed your mind with inspiration, wisdom, learning, and positive growth. Listening to other gurus and other people you admire. That's your daily spiritual food that you need. Be willing to be open to learning and then perhaps adjusting your mindset as it's needed as you go along the way. That's what's going to sustain you. Sometimes people listen all the time, but they're not willing to make that little adjustment, you know. This really is a simple business, but it's easy to get off track or run out of fuel if you're not constantly fueling yourself with what I call mental nutrition. So, you know, negative people can drain you and wear you out, right? Why would you surround yourself with that? You just can't pick up the phone with that smile on your face if you're being fed and beaten down with negativity. So just like a family road trip, if you keep hearing complaints from the back seat and that proverbial, when are we going to get there? That is so wearing on you, right? That you eventually give in and stop for a break. Well, that can happen in this business too. But your break may be longer than you intended if you don't get connected again with and touch base with those dreams and the goals and your map. I heard a downline friend say to me once, yeah, I'm just not feeling Zilis right now. I may later. But without connecting and coming to events, how can anyone feel the energy that is Zilis? When that happens, like with that friend, I would just say when your positive mindset is being challenged, I encourage you to talk to your upline. Be honest about your feelings or your concerns so they can help refuel you. You know, chances are they've been there before too, and they can help dig you out of that ditch if you haven't been stuck there too long. So do what you're doing tonight. You know, jump on trainings, listen to some that are in our resources. Just come and hang out with others that are interested in building or refueling their businesses. Okay, packing your products. Just like you wouldn't go on any trip without your clothes and your shoes, why would you expect that you can do a business without products and knowledge? You can't wait and see how it's going to go. I'll tell you how it's going to go. It will stall because you need the products themselves to get you there. You really can't expect everyone to just order online because most people need to try the product first and then order the wholesale. You're not going to have knowledge at first. None of us did. There is a learning curve, right? That's where you need your upline, those three-way calls, the brochures, the resources, the sizzle, presentations, now our great new Zilis app. These are all going to help you sound knowledgeable. And the more you listen, the more you retain. You're going to be surprised that one day you don't need to text your upline as much. You don't need to refer to all the resources as much, but with the way things are always changing and always improving, it really is good to stay responsible and stay on top of things. All right, money. You need money to begin this trip and throughout it. Just expect it. Do you need money for that family dream trip? Of course. You take extra cash, traveler's checks, credit cards for unexpected purchases. Don't you buy souvenirs along the way? Well, that's part of the journey. And you may find some unexpected expenses with Zilis too. Buying some show specials, red zone specials, the new bundles to stock your virtual warehouse. All these products are going to help you build your business. They're going to help you build your knowledge and help you rank. If you don't have product, you're less likely to learn about it. Can you do this business without spending more money than your join pack? I would say yes, probably, but it will be a slow go. Expect that you have to spend some money to make extraordinary money. Sell retail if you don't have the cash on hand. You don't have to own a retail business to make retail money. And your vacation isn't a write-off, but everything in this business is a write-off. I mean, I just think it's such a win-win where the expenses are concerned. All right, so there you are. You're on your way to go, but you're on the road, and sure enough, you've got a flat tire, you've got car problems, a detour. I mean, obstacles happen, right? As in anything in life. Don't think your Zilis business is going to be any different, because if you expect them and perhaps even prepare for them, then you can handle these challenges with ease. You won't always know what they are ahead of time, but just the fact that you're expecting some obstacles, then when they happen, it's not going to derail your success. For example, at the beginning, you get some no's. Even your closest family and friend said no right as you were all excited and pumped up to start your business. That is not your fault. They are not ready yet. Don't let their reluctance or their skepticism waver your positive mindset. Remember, you're the one with the vision. They just haven't caught it yet. And maybe in time they'll catch some of yours if they're lucky, or better yet, create some of their own. So how about someone quits right after they joined, and maybe they came in gold? Maybe even they made a few ranks. Again, if your mind is equipped with your vision, that's not going to deter you. It may bruise you a bit, but that wears off as you help others with their dreams and the goals. You learn that it wasn't you, it really wasn't personal, it's where they were in their life. If you accept that this business isn't for everyone and you don't want everyone, you want the right people that are going to see it through to the end with you. Then you can graciously accept that their decision just is the right one for them. And of course, always maintain the relationship, because hopefully they may come back around later. The obvious, the coronavirus 19. Oh my gosh. Who could have ever seen a pandemic as an obstacle we might have to deal with? Well, I always try to find the positive, the bright side of things. So really, what better scenario? Everyone is stuck at home. Everyone has too much anxiety, and everyone is needing income. This is the perfect storm. While I wouldn't wish it for the world or take advantage of it, use it to help other people. You have products they need. And my doctors have said just recently that they know it was using the CBD and the CBG together that have helped strengthen my immune system so much. We have a turnkey business that's going to help people make residual income now and in the future. And after the virus, I can just hear some of the conversations. Well, at least I got my garage and my pantry cleaned out and got to watch my Netflix library. What did you get done? Oh, I built a business and padded my bank account. Which would you rather do? And hopefully you can do both, but look for the silver lining and it will turn to gold, I promise. More importantly, do not worry. The book of Isaiah says, do not worry, you know your Father, you know your future. Other obstacles might be that it takes longer than you wanted or expected to get there. I believe that this is not necessarily on your timing, but God's timing. He knows what you might be needing yet for you to achieve a certain amount of success. You have to trust that. Maybe you have to learn to change courses, use different tools or tactics. Maybe you have to gain some personal growth yourself before you're ready to reach a certain goal at the top. I feel that God brought this opportunity to me. He opened doors for me. He's not going to forsake me. He's going to see me through to my goals. So I think it's just like the products take longer for some people to feel results. It doesn't mean that they won't have amazing results. And the same is true for our business. It's just individual. If the people that don't quit are the ones that are going to make it to a success. So just remove all self-doubt and trust His timing. Now, perfectionism is an obstacle as well. According to Julia Cameron of The Artist's Way, she says, perfectionism is pure ego. It is wanting to control everything and you're never satisfied. It's a fear that when we don't want to do something, it means we won't do it until we're guaranteed we'll do it perfectly. Oh my gosh, that is such a roadblock. There is no escape from that, but just to keep practicing taking small risks. Start with one small one a day, one that's going to make you feel good when you have done it. That's going to create self-empowerment. And faith is believing in things unseen, right? I have this bird canvas right over my computer screen on the wall, and it says, faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. Well, lucky for us, we get to see success all the time in our leaders. You have to have faith that if it can happen for Jenny and Tony Lusby, who were praying for an opportunity and at the end of their ropes, If it can happen for Danielle Taylor, who started at the very beginning and is on most of our birth certificates, that it can happen for you? That Brian Gasperson, who was just needing a purpose and has several other successful businesses and can still be at the top ranks and leaders in Zilis, that it can happen for you? And if it can happen for Robbie and Brian Page, who were let down by their previous company and had to fear the just the thought of starting and building all over again, don't you have faith that you can build this to the level that you want as well? I mean, they are all living proof for us. So I just implore you to have your belief so strong, your vision, and show no fear, and say to these obstacles, bring them on, baby, because I'm going to change course. I'm going to get reunited, and whatever it takes, my dream is worth it, and I'm going to succeed in this business. So that brings us to perseverance. There's no way that you can get to any rank without persevering, overcoming some obstacles, and driving forward with focus and determination. Perseverance means strength. You don't get that without some knocks, some personal growth, learning some things about yourself and others. You don't get that with a lot of focus and sacrifice. Just like when you take a long planned family vacation, you miss things that are happening at home while you're gone. You miss TV programs and shows and events and sports and dates and extra work projects, because those people know that you had that trip planned, and they understand that you're on vacation. Well, in the long scheme of things, for the short time that you're going to be working head down and focused on making Zilis a success for you, then you're not available for many of the typical things that other people want to put on your calendar. Those things are not on your Zilis calendar. TV can wait. Say no to some extra hours at work or that creative project you're just dying to get to. Say no to some of that online shopping, the video games, the TV, whatever it is. Get off the sofa, get out of your easy chair. You can catch that TV program and those videos later. Miss a season of your favorite show. Big deal. I mean, when you see a big fat commission check, you really won't care that you don't know who won American Idol that season. I promise you. The same thing is true with worry. I use the 5-year plan, okay? I think about, will this event or issue matter in 5 years if I don't go? If it's something for my husband, my son, or my grandchildren, it likely will matter. So I choose not to miss those things. They're like my compass. This helps you keep the important things, because we don't know how long we're going to be on that drive for our dreams to the top. And you can't miss the meaningful things in your life along the way. So that brings us to this next slide. Along your journey, you're going to see sights worth stopping for. Don't forget to enjoy the journey, the people, the relationships, the accomplishments that you've made along the way. You know, your head, yes, is bent down and focused, but these new teams, these new friends, make friends with them for life, because you can take this business with you with life. It's not separate. That's what Spring and Fall Fest are for, mixing business with pleasure, learning and loving the journey, and growing older and wiser and hopefully richer with your new Zilis family along the way. So the time has come and you've reached your destination, both on your imaginary road trip and your real one with Zilis. So you get out of the car and you revel at the sight. You take pics, you absorb the scenery, and you thank your creator for this beautiful world and your ability to experience your dream. You've just got so much excitement and gratitude in your heart. Well, are you going to keep this to yourself? Of course not. You just can't wait to blow up Facebook and your friend's phone with pictures, and you can't wait to come home and tell everyone, oh my gosh, you have to just go there. The same is true with your business. You've reached your top by staying committed, staying focused, duplicating, sharing, getting out of your comfort zone, bypassing the hurdles, and you just kept driving. Now you're reaping the rewards financially, and you want to recommend and share this excitement with everyone. And after you soak it all in and just internalize it, are you going to stop sharing? Of course not, because the lease now is in you. So you make another destination dream. You make another vision board, and you repeat and you start this journey all over again. Maybe your dream or your goal was area. You made that. Are you going to stop? Of course not, because honestly, at that point, the Jeep becomes like a cool sight along the way. You want to create a bigger dream and a goal that's going to impact more people. And now you know what to expect, and you know how to help others get there. And when this life is over, don't you want to hear God say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Well done." So I just thank you so much for attending the training tonight. And thank you so much to Danielle again for inviting me, and Lori, Michelle for working on slides. I want you to know I'm going to be praying for all of your safety and your success in this journey. Please stay well. And before we do this last slide, I'd like Lori to unmute you, because I want all of you to say with real conviction, whether you're restarting your business or you're just stepping on the gas and accelerating. Let's open to the next slide. Everybody say,
unbelievable. Yes.
I am going to succeed in Zilis. Everybody.
I am going to succeed in Zilis.
I'm gonna succeed.
Yes, I am.
Absolutely incredible.
Thank you so much. God bless you all.